Hey everyone, I'm Dustin. I have nearly 20 years experience in the bike and e-bike industry, and today I'm going to be comparing the step-through heights of leading e-bike companies. Stick around. All right, so today I'm going to be comparing step-through heights of leading e-bike companies, but before I do, hit that subscribe button below. Stay in touch with us here at 630. Be the first to know about all the new content we're putting out, giveaways, and of course, new product releases. All right, e-bikes are coming out in so many different shapes and sizes these days. Wheel sizes, frame sizes, geometries. You can see I have 4 leading e-bike brand companies behind me: Rad Power bikes, Sondors, Lectric, and 630. And all 4 of these bikes have different wheels, different frames, and different setups really. Now, one thing that I deem to be one of the most important elements to an e-bike is the step-through height. And we talk about step-through height, you're just talking about the height to be able to get onto the bike. You could say step-over height, step-through height, basically right here. Putting your foot over, and how high do you have to lift your leg to get on and off of a bicycle. To me, this is particularly important with e-bikes because of mounting and dismounting is really an important safety element of an e-bike. Because they have motors and they're heavier than standard bikes, you want the mounting and dismounting to be easy on your body and not to be super complicated. Especially if you have any kind of physical limitation or if you just have tight hips, tight knees. Sometimes getting your leg all the way around a bike to mount and dismount can be challenging. There's this maneuver of mounting where you bring your leg like this, but again, it doesn't even necessarily mean you have physical limitations. You still be running marathons or doing squats at the gym. You may just not have the ability to honestly get your hip up that high or get your leg up like this. I think there's lots of people out there that are out still living life physically capable that may struggle to mount and dismount certain e-bikes because of the height of the step through or the step over. So you can see we also have different e-bike setups here. We have 20-inch wheels, we have a 27.5-inch wheel, and we have a 26-inch wheel. And I also want to just dispel the myth that just because you have a 20-inch wheel, it's going to be easier to mount and dismount. That's actually not true. And just because it has a 20-inch wheel doesn't mean the step-through height is going to be lower. So let's get into comparing all these step-through heights and show you the difference and the reality of which bike actually has the lowest step-through height. So let me start with the Rad Power. Great brand, has a lot of awareness in the US right now. This bike right here, their Rad Runner, is one of the most popular e-bikes I've seen, and it has a step-through design. Now, let me just show you right here. You can see the step over height here is 17.5 inches. Now, I want to just reference the 630 because I'm going to show you. This is I believe I said it correctly. Let me make sure. Okay, so this actually is a 20-inch tire. So this is a 20-inch tire with a 17.5 step over. I'm going to walk myself down to the 630, which again is a 26-inch wheel, and this has a 10.5-inch step over height. So that's a 7-inch difference between these two bikes in terms of the step over and the mounting and dismounting, even though the wheel sizes is 6 inches smaller. So we have a 26-inch tire, 20-inch tire, but a 6-inch because of this design on the 630 that actually brings the frame below the crank to allow for the lower step over. If you see on all these other bikes we have out here, except the Lectric, which has a similar setup, the crank is actually in line with the lowest part of the frame. The Lectric actually is a little bit different in that they have their crank here. Now, in the case of this Lectric model, they do have a step over height, and I will mention that, but I will still show you that the step over of the 630 will be lower because of the frame setup. Okay, now let me move on to the Sondors here. Now, this is a little bit of a beefier bike. Not necessarily something that is, touted for the step over, but it is a step through design. But even the step through height on this is 21 inches. So I want to say too, I've witnessed a lot of people riding. Sometimes even getting the foot, you know, this high off the ground can be challenging. Something 21 inches for some riders, that's going to be very difficult to mount and dismount. But again, this is a great e-bike for different types of riding. Just mentioning the step over. Okay, now let's move on to the Lectric. Now, in all fairness to Lectric, they have two models. They have a step over. This is the non-step over, but this is a folding 20-inch e-bike. And the step over height of this, if you account for this little bar right here, is actually 25 inches. If you come over here, it's about 25. So really it's going to be about 25 inches. Now, they do have a model where this piece right here where the battery is connects down here, but even at the lowest point of that frame, you're going to be looking at about 18, 19 inches of step over height. So this is what's truly so amazing about the 630, and this is called the simple step through. Your step through height on this e-bike is, like I said, 10.5 inches. And you can see the unique design, how the frame actually comes down below and swoops down for the very simple fact of being able to really just step through and mount. So when you see the word step through or step over frame, you just have to keep in mind, what does that mean to you? And also be realistic about how much can you lift your leg, what's safe or comfortable for you. Again, if lifting your leg this high is okay by you, then this bike could be great for your use. But you just have to keep in mind what will be safe, what will be easy, and what will be best for the type of riding you're gonna do. I just wanted to dispel the myth that a 20-inch would be lower or easier, and it really ranges 26-inch, 20-inch. It depends on the frame design, as you can see with the 630 simple step through. So if you have any additional questions about any of these e-bikes here or anything else, please comment below. Also, if you're in the market for an e-bike, jump over to sixthreezero.com. You can take the body fit quiz, answer a few questions about your body and your life, and our proprietary algorithm will recommend the perfect e-bike for your body and your life. In addition, we have a test ride your e-bike policy for 30 days. If you don't love your e-bike in the first 30 days, send it back, no questions asked, no money out of your pocket. In addition to that, before you buy, join our Facebook Peddlers group and download our app. You can talk to real riders, see how they're riding, hear their experiences. And then once you have an e-bike, join the group, make friends, share photos. It is tons of fun, and you can track your rides on the app. So thank you for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey, your experience. Enjoy the ride.